Learning a new language is a continuous process that requires constant exposure, active practice, and effective memorization techniques. Among the many challenges faced by English learners, one of the most common is the difficulty of remembering new words. Often, we learn a term, understand it in a specific context, but when we try to use it, it simply disappears from our memory. This happens because the brain needs multiple interactions with a word to truly incorporate it into active vocabulary. The good news is that there are practical and efficient ways to ensure that the words you learn become permanently fixed in your mind. The key is to combine different exposure methods, associate words with meaningful experiences, and ensure regular reviews. Vocabulary learning should not be a mechanical process of memorizing lists, but rather a dynamic experience, integrated into daily life and adapted to each person's learning style. Before we continue, please like the video to help this content reach more people who need it, and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos. It's very important for us to have you following our content. It motivates us to keep going on our journey to make language learning accessible. Thank you, and let's get into the video. The importance of writing down new words and reviewing them regularly. One of the most effective strategies for expanding your vocabulary is writing down every new word you encounter. However, simply writing down a word with its translation isn't enough. For efficient learning, it's important to provide context. Whenever you come across a new term in a book, article, video, or conversation, write it down along with an example sentence that illustrates its meaning. For example, if you learn the word overwhelmed, writing only overwhelmed might not be enough to remember its correct usage. Instead, write a sentence like, "I felt overwhelmed with all the tasks I had to do at work." This way, when reviewing, you won't just recall the word but will also see how it is used in a real structure. Additionally, it's essential to review your notes regularly. A highly effective method is spaced repetition, which involves reviewing the word the day after learning it, then 3 days later, then a week later, and so on. Apps like Anki or Quizlet can assist with this process by providing automatic reviews based on your difficulty level with each term. Strategic rereading, learning from books you already know. Another powerful method for reinforcing English vocabulary is reading books you already know, but in their original version. When you're already familiar with the story, you don't have to worry as much about overall comprehension and can focus more on vocabulary and grammatical structures. For example, if you have read Harry Potter in your native language, rereading it in English will be a smoother experience since you already know the context. This reduces the frustration that can arise when reading something completely new and not understanding many words. When you encounter unfamiliar terms, the context will help you deduce their meaning, making the reading process more intuitive. Additionally, keeping a notebook to write down frequently appearing words is a valuable practice. If a book repeatedly uses a term like glance, it's a sign that this word is common in English and may be useful in your vocabulary. Active practice, writing and speaking with new words. Vocabulary learning should not be a passive activity. Memorizing words without using them is like trying to learn how to swim just by reading about it. To truly internalize a term, you need to use it actively. An efficient strategy is writing sentences using the words you've learned. For example, if you learn the word stubborn, you can create personal sentences like, "My little brother is so stubborn. He never listens to me." By connecting the word to personal experiences, you create a stronger relationship with the term, making it harder to forget. Besides writing, speaking out loud also reinforces memory. Try describing your day in English using the new words. If you've learned the word delighted, try using it when talking about something positive. "I was delighted when I received my job offer." If possible, engage in conversations with others and naturally insert newly learned words into the dialogue. The more you practice, the faster your vocabulary will solidify. The role of listening in vocabulary retention. Listening to English regularly is essential for reinforcing vocabulary and understanding the correct pronunciation of words. Many times, we learn a term in writing but don't know how to pronounce it correctly, which can cause communication difficulties. Podcasts, audiobooks, and videos are excellent tools for improving this skill. Choose content that interests you to make learning more enjoyable. For example, if you like sports, you can listen to a podcast about soccer in English. When you hear a new term, try repeating it out loud and, if necessary, write it down for later review. Music is also an effective way to memorize words. Since lyrics often repeat, the words are naturally reinforced. For example, the word heartache appears in many romantic songs. Hearing it in different contexts helps it become part of your vocabulary without you even noticing. Creating associations and mental images for better memorization. Our brain remembers information better when it is associated with images or emotions. When we learn words in isolation, they are easy to forget. However, if we create mental connections, learning becomes much more effective. For example, if you learn the word serene, you can associate it with an image of a calm lake at sunset. If you learn frustrated, you might recall the last time you tried to solve a difficult problem but couldn't. These associations increase the chances of remembering words when you need to use them. The importance of diverse learning sources. Finally, expanding your vocabulary requires exposure to different types of materials. Reading just one type of content limits the variety of words you encounter. If you like stories, you can read fiction. If you prefer current events, you can follow news articles in English. If you want to learn technical vocabulary, you can read articles related to your profession. Each learning source exposes you to different words, broadening your understanding of the language. Conclusion. Learning and retaining new English words is not just a matter of effort but of strategy. Writing down new words, reviewing them regularly, rereading familiar books, actively practicing through writing and speaking, consuming diverse audio content, creating visual associations, and exploring different learning sources are all ways to make vocabulary more solid and permanent. The most important thing is to not give up. The more exposure you have to English in your daily life, the more natural the learning process will be. Vocabulary doesn't develop overnight, but with consistency and practice, each new word will become part of your repertoire, allowing you to communicate with greater confidence and fluency. Congratulations on making it this far. You've definitely taken another step in your learning journey. Leave a comment letting us know how this video helped you. It really motivates us to keep working. Thank you so much, and see you next time.